Hey folks, this is Tim from Box Stock Garage. Back for a second introductory video. This is for, I mentioned this in my very first video for the channel. This is for a memorial build for our local IPMS chapter here in Buffalo. This is the Tony Bartozek, and I probably got that wrong, but the Tony Bartozek Memorial I Am Not a Loser group build. Apparently this build was started many years ago, long before I joined the club, before I even moved here. Tony started the build, and it became an annual thing, and then he passed away and had an untimely passing, and so it became a memorial build in his name. So basically with the May meeting, we meet the third Tuesday of every month. So with the May meeting, that's the beginning or the introduction. So you have to bring your kit in. It's got to be unstarted. It can be opened. It doesn't have to be sealed, but it has to be unstarted. And the due date for the kit to be presented at the club meeting in its completion is September. So my wife Julie joined. She's working on a metal die-cast body model A, I think 32 Ford, and those are no longer produced. The company that make them is called Spec Cast, and they now strictly make die-cast farm implements. I reached out to the company to try and get some background on this model, and it's over 20 years old. They wiped their records in 2004 when they switched systems, and they've got no record of this kit that she's working on. Mine is, again, a throwback. It's one of the first kits that I ever built. I think it might be the first kit that I built by myself. The very first kit that I remember building with my dad was AMT Ladder Chief. But this particular kit, when I got back into the hobby, I started looking on eBay, and the original boxings, and there was two of them, was one in 71 and one in 72. Those were and are still going for, or asking, over $200. I got memories, I get great memories of the kit, but I wasn't going to go with 200. That was a bit much. So this kit originally was introduced in 1968 by Revell as the Triumphantic or something Trike. In 1971, it was introduced or reboxed as the Evil Iron. 1972, it got reboxed again. I can't find any indication of what the differences were other than apparently just the boxing. 92, it was released again as another Triumph show Trike. 93, the Ghost Rider Trike, and the Ghost Rider is, I mean, they're all very similar, but the Ghost Rider is extremely similar. Really, the only difference is instead of the skull, they have a knight's helmet, and of course, in the Ghost Rider, the decals and the color are different on the box art. But then last year, Evil Iron got re-released by Revell, and I snapped one up right away. In fact, I got it on pre-order. I had to have it. Didn't want to miss it. I know they're still out there, and they're still fairly readily available. But this is a 1/8 scale, and it's a pretty detailed kit. I mean, I remember building this kit. It's got 153 parts. So what I'm going to do is right after I finish this intro video, I'm going to go ahead and move things around, and we're going to go right into an unboxing. So actually it's probably going to just be one continuous video. But I'm really excited about, again, going back to, pretty much where it all began for me. And I'm really excited. I've got no idea where it's going to go because it's going to take up an entire shelf. At some point here in the not too distant future, I'm going to do a little video of my shelf. But to be honest, I don't care, because this is truly taking me back almost to the beginning. So stay tuned for that unboxing. Welcome back. Okay, took a few minutes. We got everything rearranged, and we're going to go ahead and open up and take a look at all the bits and pieces that make up the Evil Iron. Take a quick look at some of the box art here. Whoops, I did have it right side up. Sorry. So it's got, as they say, low profile wide meats. Great handlebars. I remember those with the axe head clamps up at the top. The mace ball tail lights. Those, if I remember correctly, almost all of those spikes on there are separate pieces. We've got the 650 cc engine, and then we've got the undercarriage with the chain drive. On the other side, I definitely remember painting up that double-edged sword. Nice extended front forks that's steerable, and the leg iron headlights, even with the little padlocks on them and the chain. Very cool. There's the skull and the iron mask that I mentioned. So again, the iron mask would be for, I mean, you can use it for this kit, but that would be for the Ghost Rider Trike from '93, from that reboxing. And then you've got the halberd, or the parade axe. On the back, got a picture of the completed kit. And again, the details, the number of parts, like I said, 153. It's almost 15 inches long, just over 14 and a half inches. Brand new set of decals that have been created for this and reprinted. Again, personally, I didn't do any, I don't even remember any flames for this one. In fact, I've got a Tester's spray extreme lacquer. It's the maroon, and that's probably what I'm going to go with, because that's, again, what I remember doing when I was a kid, similar to this color, but it's got a bit more metal flake. So we're going to get this thing opened up, and we're going to take a look at what we've got in the box, hopefully. One of the first things you see, those two humongous Goodyear tires. They are gigantic. So we'll get those out of the way. Pull everything else out. And then we'll get the box out of the way as well. So of course, we've got some cabling. Going to be, if memory serves, it's going to be for our brakes, or possibly for the engine, or possibly even both. We've got safety advice. Don't cut yourself. Don't drink your paints. All of that stuff. Again, a really, really nice set of decals. Nice Triumph badges, which you can see there. I think that the This pointed one here, I believe, is for the sword. Again, it's got evil iron. Some more Triumph badges in black and white. A bit thicker font. Triumph badges, again, black and white, evil iron, black and white. Couple license plates. So we'll see. Right now I'm just planning honestly on only doing the small Triumph badge. Nice set of instructions. I noticed that there's none on ScaleMates, so I might actually scan these and put them up on ScaleMates. But like most engines, we start out like most models, we start out building the engine, and there's our template for our tubing. Looks like to the carbs, and then the frame assembly, and then the engine placed in the frame. We're going to take a look at that front tire. You notice you have to cut the center out of that. Assembling the rear tires and putting the wheels in, putting them onto the frame, making it on step 13. We finally make it a roller. There's our axe heads for the clamps and our lights with the padlocks on them. And again, a bit more tubing. So there's the rest. So yeah, it was both. It was the brakes and the clutch, and also the engine. A bit more on the engine there. A bit more brake line. I do recall that getting that back to set in just so was a bit of a pain, so we'll see how we go. It actually at this point looks like it's got some different mounting pins, so sure, that's going to help a lot. Maybe they were there when I was a kid and I just don't remember, but we'll see. And again, then we get into our decal placement, and then dropping the body on over the rear shocks. And they do recommend, which is, even works for cars, to cut out the decal for the license plate and then use white glue to attach it. And yeah, as I recall, there's the decal to put on the sword if we're so inclined. But there we go. That's the instructions. So we're gonna jump into the chrome pieces first. So there's our rear wheels and our brake assembly for them, and our rear axle where the chain drive is going to go through. There's our headlight brackets and the chain that goes with them, so you can see their manacles. So very nice, little tiny bit of flash there on the end, but not too bad at all. And this guy, a lot of engine pieces and parts. Looks like our front forks. There's our exhaust. Got our sword, our chain drive, more engine parts. There's our carburetors. There's our axe heads that go at the top of the forks, and of course our shocks for the rear, and our nice big front spoked wheel. So this may be a bit too plasticky chrome. We'll see. But I can either strip it or hit it with some matte clear. So this guy up here. My dog's in the background singing the song of their people. So getting into the white styrene, and of course our big front tire. So like I mentioned when we were going through the instructions, you're going to have to cut this centerpiece out. But these are really, really nice tires. I did read online that some of the the originals that you would get off of eBay from 71, 72, that the tires were really, really rough shape. Tiny little bit of clear pieces. It's our two headlights and then our two tail lights that are going to go inside the Mace tail light holders. So looking here, we've got some of our frame pieces here, over here. Got our fuel tank. Got a couple of the I still call them foot pegs. They're not really pegs though, are they? Top of the forks. So that's where our axe heads will attach. Looks really good. Again, very little flash. In fact, I'm hardly seeing any on here. And our last bag of clear parts. That gigantic body. I call it a body. It's got the mounting points, nice good mounting points for the rear lenses, but again, it'll kind of ride about like that. So it's going to be, once again, 14.5 inches long, and it's going to be pretty tall too. So there's our two side pieces. Good connection points there. And then here's our piece that slots in the back when we put those two pieces together. Again, more for our gas tank. In fact, I think the other gas tank that's on there is one of the smaller ones for one of the other versions of this. So there's the seat, got some good texture to it. Again, the gas tank, the back kind of insert. More pieces for our wheel assemblies. There's our back spring. The knight's helmet. And of course the skull that I remember when I was a kid. There's the handle for our sword. There's the big halberd. And as I mentioned a second ago, there's our two maces. But you notice each one of these maces, we got 2, 4, 6, 8. So each one of these is going to have 8 spikes that's going to be glued to it, and then those will mount, and the rear lamp will go right in there. And of course, that's going to get painted probably just a clear red. And we've got another set of our foot pegs. And this small ring here that you see is actually, it mounts, if I recall, it mounts on the fork or possibly on the frame, but then that's what the halberd sits down inside. So this is not actually going to be glued. You'll be able to take that out and do battle at your desktop if you want. But really, really sharp looking kit. Everything that I remember it to be. And I think there's going to be a few spare parts, just going back and looking at some of the extra gas tank bits and foot pegs and things of that nature. There's going to be a few spare parts, I'm pretty certain. But I'm definitely looking forward to building this up. Again, I've got until the 3rd Tuesday in September. Today is actually the 3rd Tuesday in June, so I've had the thing out for a month and haven't done anything until just now, so I'm going to have to get cracking. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And again, this is Tim from Box Stock Garage. If you are so inclined, appreciate if you hit like and hit subscribe. so you get notified when we get some new videos out. Just getting the channel growing, but getting a lot of support from other folks in the community, which I truly appreciate. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great day.